Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. All quiet on the crypto front, as they say. Guys, this is XRP on a daily. We haven't seen much movement in the last few months. Well, much movement upward is what I mean. And all the news media outlets in the crypto space are stating the same. Has Bitcoin found its bottom? Has the crypto market evened out? Are buyers and sellers satisfied, happy paying the agreed upon price that Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, all those other coins are hovering at right now? There's other questions too. Has retail finally gotten shaken out of the market? This article was about Bitcoin price fluctuations, part of it was at least. And this chart here, they talk about Bitcoin price fluctuations of 5% or more. And as you can see, in January, February, March, we saw large fluctuations of Bitcoin. It started dying down. We saw a little bump in July. Then August, September, October 2018, which is the month we're just tying up right now, has seen the fewest Bitcoin fluctuations of 5% or more. And guys, you know I always talk about Bitcoin in relation to the entire cryptocurrency market. There is a reason for this. As I've said in most of my videos, Bitcoin is the indicator of the market as of now. The market is very, very small, and it follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the drumbeat. So what does this mean for crypto? Well, it's interesting. A lot of people find that they are losing faith, whether it's in XRP or any other cryptocurrency you hold. People are losing faith in the market because it's just not going up fast enough for them. Guys, don't be so short-sighted, have patience, and hodl your positions. I don't care. Even if you don't have XRP, if you have any other coin, hodl your positions, because it'll just be a matter of time and then the market will rebound in the blink of an eye. Guys, there's this video I saw here, why there is going to be another bull run, and it's by Colin Talks Crypto. I had never heard of this guy before. He has a very interesting theory of why he believes the market will take up once again, and he does bring up this chart, the penetration of target market, which I believe that the digital asset investor has mentioned in a few of his videos, and the SCurve. Guys, I've also done videos about, when will we see the next peak of the market using mathematical averages. I'll link them in the description. I'm starting to build quite a large back catalog of videos now. So guys, for you new subscribers, please go visit these videos because you'll find a lot of insightful information about market history, the fact that XRP is following Bitcoin right now just because we're not seeing the mass adoption yet. This video is about what will be the peak of the next bull run. And I was estimating based on historical averages that we could see a Bitcoin of over $177,000 per Bitcoin. Extrapolating that, an XRP of over $33. Did another video here. When will the next cryptocurrency occur? Taking historical averages between cryptocurrency bull runs, averaging them out, and we're looking at 94 weeks from the last one, which would bring us to seeing Bitcoin top its $20,000 high. So of course, we're going to start seeing the bull run before this. Okay, these are all just using mathematical averages to kind of give you guys an idea of how long we may have to wait for a cryptocurrency bull run. Of course, there's a lot of things coming down the pipe right now, and we have to remember to be patient. I know you guys have been hearing this now for months, but it really is important to drill that point home. You have to be patient. This is not going to happen overnight. Guys, I'll link these videos in the description for you guys to find more easily, but I do want to talk a little bit more about this S-curve. And something that we're all familiar with, smartphone penetration in the United States. Guys, as you know or may not know, the iPhone came out in 2007 and it took a while for it to catch on. Not that it wasn't super popular when it did come out. It was new technology rivaling BlackBerry at the time, touchscreen functions, right? This was the new wave of phones. It was basically a computer in your pocket. And guys, we see this S-curve penetration model in all kinds of new technology. So let's just take a look at this chart regarding iPhones in particular. So the iPhone launch was around here, okay? You saw innovators, so maybe these were the kinds of people who were getting into iPhone technology before it was even released. So this is the Silicon Valley types really, not available to the mass public. Then when it did come out, you start seeing early adopters purchase smartphones. Popularity started to grow. Android launches their first phone. Popularity continues to grow. Then the Droid launch. Galaxy launch up here. And then guys, we start seeing, instead of it being flat and going up, we start seeing it kind of go a little more vertical. Okay, and I don't know if you guys can see here, but down here is time. So this is 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Okay, this is when we started to see popularity surge for iPhones. And by this point here, Apple really understood something. In order to get more of the market, they needed to release a more affordable version of the iPhone, because right now these phones are like mini computers and they're charging quite a lot for them. So they released the iPhone 5C, which is kind of like a without all the bells and whistles model. Parents can buy it for their teenagers. People who don't want to spend an arm and a leg on a phone can purchase it and still have an iPhone. But so this didn't happen until the late majority took adoption. Okay, so here we have early majority. I know I got my iPhone in and around here. I got that iPhone 4 was my first iPhone. Okay, so I was right here on the front end of the early majority. Back end is up here. Then the late majority starts grabbing them. People's parents, maybe people who are holding out, and then finally the laggards, people who have no interest in technology. Maybe 90% of the world owns iPhones at this point, and now your grandma's got one. How cool can it really be? Nevertheless, it's all good. This is the model for iPhones, guys, but this happens in every kind of new emerging technology, and we're seeing this with cryptocurrency. This SCurve kind of gives us a better idea, at least in my opinion, of how we can look at cryptocurrency and their usability. Right now, crypto is such a abstract concept for us, I think, for a lot of us, because we see crypto exists. We understand something like XRP, for example, because we can see how it can work. But XRP is just one example in a sea of cryptocurrencies. And I don't think a lot of the population really gets what is coming down the pipe and how this is going to explode. And so when you look at this SCurve here, they look at it this way. So the new product comes out here. Nobody really knows about it. Now they're working on making it work. There's a bit of an uptick here. Making it work properly, okay, continues to go up. Maximize the performance. So now they've kind of perfected it, but they want to maximize performance, maximize efficiency, because maybe at this point they've maximized the performance, but the efficiency isn't perfect. Now maximize reliability. So this is these are steps in the life cycle of technology. Finally, they want to minimize cost. And so what did they do here? Minimize cost. iPhone 5C, right at the top of the late majority, kind of right here in the middle here. And so minimize cost. Apple did that to kind of give one last boost to their sales. And then finally up here you have a mature product. It has become mainstream. But so the question is, from here to here, how long is that going to be? Well, guys, that's a good question. In the case of this US smartphone penetration chart, this is going over a 15-year period, and we aren't even in 2019 or 2020 yet, but we're kind of reaching that hump where we're seeing most people, at least in the developed world, have smartphones now. And so, guys, this is a 15-year chart showing that. Cryptocurrency is another technological advancement. I could see it realistically being like 10 or 15 years before we finally see the product mature. But guys, all this means is that we are going to see prices rise along the way. And it always makes me think back to, I'm curious how many of you guys owned the first or second model of iPhone and who still has their iPhone. Okay, do you remember the first model here, this clunky thing? I believe this is an iPhone 4, but I think this was a 3 or the first gen, whatever it was called. Guys, who still owns their iPhone? And better yet, is it sitting in a desk somewhere collecting dust? Guys, I want to hear how many in the comments. Please do. Guys, I want to hear how many of you have a first model, first generation iPhone collecting dust in your house somewhere that probably hasn't been touched in about 10 years. You thought you were going to sell it, but you didn't. Guys, you have to think of your investment this way. If you had the foresight to buy an iPhone back in the early adopter stage, and it's sitting, you've already spent the money on it, you're not getting any money back, and it's just sitting there, why didn't you get rid of it? These are all interesting questions that maybe are for another video, but think of your XRP investment that way. If you have an iPhone just sitting there in a drawer, why wouldn't you just sit and hodl your XRP for 10 years? For example, the difference between XRP and an iPhone is that this will be more and more worthless as the years go on. But I think the opposite is true for XRP. XRP will be more and more valuable as we see real-world utility kick in, as mass adoption occurs, as this S-curve becomes more and more of a reality down the road. But I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.